Yo, what's up, guys? I just got home. I'm still in my waders. I'm pretty pumped up from what just happened. Um, Honestly, if I didn't just get those pictures from my buddy Ryan, like I'd be completely in disbelief in what actually just happened. Um, Unofficially, like I caught my biggest brown trout ever today. Like absolutely freaking monster brown. It was, I don't know about lengthwise, it was bigger than the one I caught a week ago or 2 weeks ago, but it was a chunk. And I'm just so thankful for the fish. I couldn't have done it without my buddy Ryan, um, Streamer Junkie 17. Um, just totally awesome dude. He's helped me out so much. And I'm still so hyped about it. Like I'm in such disbelief. I called my girlfriend, I called my mom, I called my dad, and I'm just I'm it's so surreal that happened. And I kind of want to share the story with you before I forget any of the details, which I'm not sure that's soon going to happen. But we were streamer fishing. I was actually fishing like one of these sculpins, one of the sparkle sculpins. And Ryan freaking moves like crazy when he fishes. I was standout track athlete in high school, and I ran a little bit in college. I was pretty fit, and I couldn't keep up. I was out of breath. He's basically like running up the stream, but he's working it, and he was hitting fish and whatnot. But anyways, I came up on this one run, pretty good riffle, and I thought maybe there'd be an undercut bank because the way the riffle was fishing. So I threw the sculpin in there, like I would my tight line rig, and um, and floated there because the fish is sinking line and heavy line with the sculpin. So I basically tight lined my sculpin and looked upstream just for I don't know what reason. And my fly like came up in the current and was breaking the surface, and I turned back in just the right amount of time, and I saw this trout just explode on my fly. And immediately, like, so there's this log come out which made the riff. There's the what I thought would have been an undercut, and then there's this overhanging tree that's all the way into the water. So I immediately drop my rod tip like inches from the surface of the water because this fish is going berserk downstream. And and so I drop my rod tip, try to get my line underneath it, and it gets under a few of the branches, and then it hooks up. He wraps me on the branch, and I see the fish below me, and he's like flashing, and he's caught. And so my line's caught in the branch. My rod, I'm parallel with the fish, and my line's caught up there. And then next thing you know, I stop seeing fish, and I stop seeing movement, and like instantly, like my heart was broken. Um, I couldn't believe it that I'd hooked that and I lost it. In the whole process, I threw my net on the bank. It was about ready to walk in to break the branch, break my line. I was super dejected, just absolutely heartbroken. So I was gonna go in and break it, but I for some reason I this is a good 20 seconds like that went by, like no joke. Like I know I'm pretty pumped up and pretty like excited, but like this is like a 20-second process. And like I'm just sitting there, my line's still tight because of the log, and I decided to work my line through, see if I could get my fly out of the stick. And sure enough, I bring the fly around. um, I bring the fly around the stick, and the fish is still on. And at this point, my net is on the bank, and I have no net, and I'm in a pretty good riff. It's current's pushing pretty good, and there's the banks are just littered with debris, everywhere. And I'm like, what am I gonna do? And meanwhile, I'm screaming for Ryan, like at the top of my, like I'm cupping my hand, like because he didn't respond, and like I didn't know he was coming. I'm like, I'm doing this all by myself. Like this is absolutely insane. Like this is a worst case scenario. And like I finally spotted like a little back eddy kind of flat sandy spot, that I could kind of get the thing, because I had worked the fish to my feet, and like I'm thinking, what do I do? Do I tail it? And like I reached for it, I grabbed it by the tail, and I'm like, this is not the best idea, because if I put the slack in the thing, there's a chance my fly could come out and the fish just goes. And so I'm freaking out. Finally work him over to the eddy, and I beach him. And I kind of hold him between my legs in the water, and I'm screaming for Ryan, screaming for Ryan. And just at that moment, he comes around the corner, and I hold up the fish, and he goes nuts. He was so pumped for me. I was pumped. My hands are shaking. I'm like, go grab my net. He grabs my net. We scoop him in my net, and that was that. I landed the fish. Um, just an absolutely freaking stunner of the fish. I mean, brown, dark brown, big black spots, clean spots, beautiful blue streaks on its cheeks. Like, definitely, and then just the girth on it. Thing was a monster, and it was gorgeous. It was definitely the best fish I ever caught. And I was shaking. The adrenaline's pumping. I was shaking. We snapped some pictures, video of the release and whatnot, and the fish went away. Swam away safely. That's always the goal. You never want to put a fish in jeopardy. And he swam away. He's still pretty wound up. He was still pretty aggressive, so he had a lot of life left in him. So he's back there. He's living, and hopefully getting a little bit bigger. But we kind of moved on, continued working up, and once the adrenaline settled, I was almost in tears. Like, even right now, I'm kind of welling up a little bit. Like, it was just so cool. And I asked Ryan, I'm like, does it always feel this way? Because he's done it for a while. He's the streamer junkie, and he's like, yeah. And I'm like, dude, like, I'm almost 21 years old, and there was a point back there when I could have cried like a little baby, like, for real, like, no joke. And like, it was adrenaline to emotionness, and it was just a roller coaster ride, and it was sweet. And I'm very fortunate to have seen that fish, to have it take my fly, to hold it in my hands, to be a part of that moment. And thanks to Ryan, he made it all possible. He's been great, helping me out, showing me the ropes of the streamer world. And it's my first big brown, first monster brown on a streamer. For him to be there and be part of that was pretty sweet. But definitely a surreal moment. I'm still living off the high, still living through the moment. And it was just awesome. I just kind of want to share it with you guys. Definitely one of the highlights, if not the highlight of my fishing career so far. But I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen, and see you guys later.